Can you see who this is? This is my cat, and her name is Plexi, after the guitar amp. Hey everyone, welcome to Can't Afford to Record, the YouTube channel where we figure out the art of audio production together. So, am I actually going to move over to Pro Tools? Well, I'm thinking about it. Logic Pro is basically the only DAW I've ever used. I had Logic 8 when it came out. I guess that was like over 10 years ago now or something like that. And I just used to mess around with it, not to really make anything. I just used to like recording little bits of guitar and coming up with riffs and ideas, but it was nothing serious. There was no real need for it to be anything serious apart from a lot of my friends had it, and I was like, I want to have that piece of software too. So I ended up getting it, and I had that for a long time until eventually in 2017 I upgraded to Logic Pro 10. And that's where I've really been creating and doing audio, pretty seriously ever since. And of course, fast forward to today, I'm really serious about it, and I'm taking on a lot of projects and trying to get a lot better, hence what this whole YouTube channel's about. But here is my thing. I've been thinking about learning and moving over to Pro Tools. So here are some reasons why I've been thinking about it. I'm trying to do a pros and cons type list about why Pro Tools might be a good direction and also why it might not be a good direction. So today's video is just about me almost thinking out loud what I'm thinking about, should I move in that direction or not, and I guess we'll see in the future really what happens. Lots and lots of people use Pro Tools. I like to follow production courses, and I like to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, as I'm sure you do as well, and a lot of them that I watch are all in Pro Tools, and I find myself constantly trying to think, okay, they just did this, how do I do the same thing in Logic? And the reason why that confuses me a little bit is Logic is so intuitive that it does a lot of the hard work for you. And sometimes I don't really feel like I've done the right thing because it's just already created a certain bus, or it's, an auxiliary track, and I'm like, what is that actually what I wanted? Is it routing to the right place? Because I'm trying to follow these Pro Tools tutorials, all things that I can figure out, but they just take me time. For me, it just takes a little bit of extra time, but that time does build up, and sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I just had Pro Tools so I could just follow step by step and know that I'm doing exactly the same thing. Maybe it's a case of I should just get Pro Tools, but also maybe it's a case of I need to learn the terminology better. What does Logic call these certain moves, certain steps? I'm just wondering if I should still be putting time into learning how to do the same things on Logic. So Pro Tools, I believe, is still considered the industry standard DAW, whatever that means. From what I realize, and stuff that I've even looked into, is that if you want to get an internship at a recording studio, or you want to work at a recording studio, it's more than likely the first thing they're going to ask you is how good are you at using Pro Tools, or do you know how to use Pro Tools? It seems to just be the DAW of choice for commercial recording studios, and therefore if you know how to use it, that's a huge asset for you. And yeah, that's just kind of how it is. But I do wonder how this is changing, and are more commercial studios moving over to different DAWs? Will it one day be like, well, how good at Logic are you, or how good at using Studio One are you? Yeah, I wonder if that will change. So something else that I see a lot is that Pro Tools is amazing for mixing and editing, and I probably believe it. A lot of these people that I follow and really look up to, and friends that use Pro Tools, they're so fast at using it, and I think there are a whole bunch of commands and hotkeys, I think they're called, on Pro Tools that just, let you literally smash through tracks, comp it and edit it all together. So I'm actually quite excited to try it out and see how I can pick it up and see if it is easier to edit in Pro Tools. So what are the cons for moving to Pro Tools and the things that I'm a little hesitant about? Well, I downloaded a free trial of Pro Tools, and you get to literally try out the full license Pro Tools Ultimate for 30 days. I ran it for a day, messing around with it, and it crashed on me twice and logged me out of iLock. on one occasion. So that was kind of frustrating. So I'm not too sure what that's about. I have to say the amount of times that Logic Pro has crashed on me is absolutely minimal. So that is definitely something to consider. Software instruments. This is something I definitely didn't consider when I first downloaded Pro Tools and started messing around with it, but it became very apparent that if I want an organ or some kind of keyboard in this track, I don't really have the ability to make it in Pro Tools, and Logic comes with all of those sounds and a very easy way to put this stuff in. Quite often, I will want a organ part on a track. Even for things that I've messed around with or made for can't afford to record videos, I'll be like, man, this needs a keyboard or this needs an organ. Well, I can just literally select it and I use my keyboard on my laptop and I play the part and I get it straight into the song. So in a creative way, I'm not sure it has what I'm used to in Logic, and that is I want this part, boom, I can get it in there. I want a keyboard, I want a string section. So I think I might miss that. Pro Tools is really expensive. Oh my goodness, I had no idea really how expensive it was, but honestly, it's the best part of 800 Canadian dollars. And yeah, I don't know if I really want to make that kind of investment just yet, especially as I run everything on a MacBook Air and it's been working fine ever since I got it in 2015. I guess I just got super lucky. So I totally get it. If you have a standalone computer in your recording studio, almost not connected to the internet, literally it's never going to update its OS, it's just running smoothly as it always has done, then I think Pro Tools is a pretty safe investment in that. I am under no illusion that my MacBook could call it a day at any time because of some automatic update that I have on it or something like that, and that could really wreck things for me, and then I have to spend however much on a new computer. So yeah, I'm not too sure right now if that is the price I want to invest for this computer, and where I am right now in my basement recording atmosphere. I have Pro Tools on my computer. I'm trying to use it every day. I'm going to really take advantage of this 30-day trial and really decide, is it for me? I have to say, I like the look of Pro Tools, and I've never really liked how Logic Pro looks. I don't like that dark screen, and I don't really like the faders on it. I know this all sounds like very small things, but Logic Pro isn't inspiring to me how it looks. And I've always liked the brighter colors of Pro Tools, and perhaps I'll really enjoy using that DAW and I'll just end up buying it. I'm not sure. I need to keep using it. I've got some vocals to do this week, so I'm going to try and record those, track those into Pro Tools. Saying that, Logic is really good at its vocal takes folder and comping vocals together, so we'll see how I get on with that. You gonna behave? So, do any of the pros and cons that I mentioned today resonate with you? Do you have more things to add that I should really consider before making my final decision right now? Let me know what DAW you use and why. Have you moved from Pro Tools to a different DAW? Have you used a different DAW and moved to Pro Tools like I'm thinking about doing? I want to know about it, please. That's about it from me. Hey, if you like today's video, then please consider leaving me a thumbs up. And if you like it more than that, perhaps you might want to consider subscribing right here on Can't Afford to Record. Until next time, I'll see you soon.